Good evening. It's 6:30 PM on Monday, December the 11th, 2023, and the Winton City School Board of Education is called to order. Please turn off your cell phones or silent them, and then rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Mr. Seymour, would you call the roll?
Ms. Bryant?
Present.
Dr. Johnson?
Present.
Mr. Smith? Here. Mr. Birdie?
Present.
Mrs. Kuhn?
Present. Thank you. And we'll move on to, we have a special event tonight, special music event. Superintendent Smith, should we start
think-
there, or do you want to?
I think we'll go, and then as they come in, we can move
Okay.
on.
Well, we'll go on to our district honors, recognition, gifts, and introductions.
Not unless, President Kuhn, you'd like for me to sing.
You could.
Okay, all right. Not this time.
No, I was told no.
All right. All right, we'll start with, is Layla Robertson here?
Yes.
Layla, come up, stand up to the podium. I'm going to tell a story about you. You a little shy? Okay, is she shy? Then take your sisters up there with you. Go ahead. Yeah,
Oh, my God, look at those beauties.
they have to be your sisters. I don't care what the people say.
There's no way you could look so much alike. Go over
All
there,
right.
Mrs. Kuhn.
So sisters, let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to read about, is that the big sister? I'm going to read about your big sister, and what I want you to do is tell me if what I'm reading is true. Okay? All right. So Kiwanis character is key. Do we have a representative from Kiwanis? Right up here, sir. Layla Robertson is a very caring sixth grade student. She's always on time for classes and is always prepared. In doing this, she is caring to her classmates and teachers. She's always willing to help others with their work, to share their supplies. Sisters, is that true? Okay, this is almost like Jeopardy, so you have to tell me. All right. She has never said an unkind word about anyone. Not one student has ever complained about her actions. She enjoys helping in the classroom and assisting the teacher in many of their organizational jobs. She is a delight to have in the classroom, and her caring is evident every single day. Wow, amazing. Okay, so I know this is not part of the show, but I have to ask you, little sister, tell me your name. Aria? Is she awesome like we just read? Is she an amazing big sister? Okay, all right. Middle sister, your name?
Liana.
Say it again? Liana. Is she amazing like we said? All right, okay. Wow. Mom, is she amazing? All right, wow. The votes are in. The votes are in. 3 yeses. You must be amazing. Since you're so amazing, I'm going to say a little bit more. So this award was based on caring. Caring means showing a genuine concern for the feelings of others, showing compassion, understanding, and helping others by using kind words. The Kiwanis Characters Key Respect Award is sponsored by the Green Hills Forest Park Kiwanis Club, a partner of Winton City Schools. Students who are honored receive a La Rosa's gift card. So Big Sister's going to take you out to dinner. How about that? Is that pretty cool? All right. So, Layla, can you go to the mic, because I like your caring spirit. Just tell us a little bit why you care about people so much. All right, so sisters, I want you to just go up there with her. She'll feel confident. There you go. And just put your arm around her so we can, oh, amazing. That's a photo op right there. Where's my photographer? Okay, just tell us why you care so much.
So my classmates won't get bad grades, and I just don't want them to get bad grades and not let them get in trouble.
Okay, you know what? I bet your classmates really appreciate you, and I know that I do. So it's photo opportunity for the whole family. Mom, come up.
Yeah.
All right, let's go get a picture with the rep and the board president. This is amazing.
On the count of three, 1, 2, 3, and then take 2 more pictures. Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much. The Amir Adams is not here tonight, but we will get her next month. What about Mr. Sewsbury? Is he here? There you go. So you're the athlete?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Head coach Mike Pilgrim writes, Evan is truly a student-first student athlete. He embodies every attribute off the court that we look for in our warriors. He is a leader in the classroom. He is also a high-character young man of faith. I've personally witnessed Mr. Sewsbury in action, being there for his fellow teammates and classmates when they are struggling to understand their classwork. He's a very respectful young man and is respected by the coaching staff, his student body, his fellow teammates and classmates. He is truly what we describe here in our Winton Woods men's basketball program as a warrior of honor. Since our coaching staff has gotten here, he has shown us time and time again a great deal of potential and how he can be committed to the process of team success and his own individual success, as he has been with us every step of the way from the spring to the season. Being accountable and dependable when it comes to fulfilling his duties as an excellent student athlete. We're very proud of Evan on his great accomplishments, and we know he will strive to achieve more and more in the future. Congratulations on becoming Skyline Chili's selection for Student of the Month. Bravo. Where's your mom?
I don't know.
Okay, all right.
She's supposed to come.
All right, so tell us about all these attributes. Oh, and by the way, he has a 3.71. All right. And
I'm thankful for the award, but like it feels like this is what I always do because my parents raised me to be the type of person I am. So it just feels like it's just a natural thing to do. So I know I'm getting rewarded for it, but like it's always feel like the right thing to do. So I just want to build myself on doing the right things and just be the best person I could possibly be.
bravo, sir. Thank you. Hey, who are you named after?
My mom.
All right, very good.
Yes.
Okay, all
Get a
right.
picture.
All right, who came with you tonight?
Nobody. I just got out of practice and came over here.
Okay, so Ms. Kuhn, let's put that touch in there. All right, so we can have some people in there.
On the count of three, 1, 2, 3, 2 more, 1, 2, 3.
All right, we're gonna make one more adjustment. Hold up, hold. We gotta make it seem like your whole family was here. So, Dr. Martin, Ms. Roselle, Dr. Ragland, get up there. Be part of his tribe. All right, get in there. Say, look at all these people he brought with him. I saw you look at me, Mr. Denny. Get up there. Go ahead. Get up there, Mr. Denny.
You shouldn't have gave
He
me
was
the eye
wondering.
contact.
You know how you make that eye contact. Once you look
You
at me,
know better.
you're already on the team, sir. All right. All right, there we go.
Good job. Great picture.
That's amazing.
1, 2, 3. One more.
Yes.
Isn't it okay? So at Winwood City Schools, not only do we educate you, we will create a ready-made family for you at any time you need it.
Good job.
Okay. Are we ready, Ms. Jordan? All right. The Winton Woods Alternative School, no, not yet. The Winton Woods, I think it's Clarity. Yes, Clarity is going to do a vocal performance for us, and so they're on the way. And what you'll see is one of the directors of Clarity is our very own student who graduated from Winton Woods, Alex Kress. So here we go. Clarity, come on in. You gonna be the sound man? All right, let you take my seat, sir. Again, I said,
Good evening, yes. Good evening.
Thank you so much for having us, folks. This is Clarity Acapella. This is my after-school acapella group. They do all of this rehearsal, all this preparation after school. So the selections you'll hear from them tonight will not be quite holiday themed because this music is going to be coming off of our fall concert. However, I think they will be familiar tunes to many of you, featuring songs by Harry Styles, Frank Ocean, and SZA. Starting off tonight is going to be Good Days by SZA with soloist Shania Roof. Following is going to be Think About You by Frank Ocean with soloist T.T. Williams. And then lastly, but certainly not least, will be As It Was with soloist Alex McNeil. We do hope you enjoy. One, two, three.
Good days in my mind, good days in my mind. Good days in my mind, good days in my mind. making me feel like I'm always in my mind, always in my mind.
One, two, three.
Eyes don't shed tears. Think so far ahead, thinking about forever. Think so far ahead, thinking about forever. Think so far ahead, thinking about forever. Think so far ahead, thinking about forever.
Thank you so much. We have one more for you. This is our favorite. This is As It Was by Harry Styles with soloist Alex McNeil. That last one, Thinking About You, with soloist T.T. Williams. One, two, three.
Holding me back, gravity's holding me back. I want you to hold on again. Why can't we leave it at that? Nothing to say when everything gets in the way. It seems you cannot be the place, and I'm the one who will say, whoa, in this world, it's just us. You know it's not the same as it was. In this world, it's just us. You know it's not the same as it was. As it was. You know it's not the same. Answer the phone, heavy and no good alone. Why are you sitting there? What kind of bills are you on? Ringing the bell, and nobody's coming to help. Your daddy lives by himself. He just wants to know that you're well. Whoa, in this world, it's just us.
class? What year?
Yes, 2018.
2018, still fresh off the boat. Before you guys go, I am so honored. I thought your musicianship was fantastic. I want to know, man, how'd you get this job? Because you were on the multi-factor. So this is what we're going to do, because we like to congratulate you, and we want to give you something special. No school for you next week. There you go. Whole week. Take it off.
And the next one, right?
And the next week. All right, let's get pictures in there. Somebody grab me a camera. Oh, Mr. Rick. Get in there, copy it down, so it looks like it was singing through. I'm in here, like I was with the group. Oh, I'm in the group.
All right, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. And take 2 more. Smile. All right. Thank
Hey,
you.
when they become famous, I'm with
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for this, sir. I appreciate you.
Is there another?
We do have another award. So the next recipient is Miss Megan Weaver. Couldn't be here tonight, but we're going to bring up the Public Works Champion Showcase. Winton Woods Alternative School, Miss Kelly Roselle. Director, congratulations to Ms. Roselle, who was selected as a Public School Works Champion in October. She is highlighted on the organization's website as one of 6 K-12 thought leaders innovating and driving change to champion for their schools. Congratulations, Ms. Roselle. Absolutely, I do.
This particular award was very interesting because I was searching, looking for some district information, and I went to School Works website, and I had some questions. So I called someone from Public School Works. Ironically, the person wanted to speak to Mr. Steve Denny, so they used me to get to Mr. Denny, but then during the conversation, the guy started asking me questions about my methodology and my theories and what I thought about education. I'm like, wait a minute. I called to ask you questions, but you're asking me questions. And he explained how they were going to be highlighting and featuring several people across the country for leadership. They spoke very highly of Winton Woods as being a very good client, and they were impressed with a lot of the things that we do at Winton Woods. So I was extremely excited about representing Winton Woods as their Public School Works champion.
Excellent, Ms. Roselle. Thank you. We totally appreciate you. We really appreciate you. Thank you for standing up.
Yes, very good.
So, Dr. Johnson and Ms. Bryant, you are to present the Community Spirit Award, and it goes to 2 of our board members who are transitioning, but they have been incredible role models and great spirit achievers. The first one, alphabetically, will go to Mr. Birdie, and Mr. Birdie, speech would be fine.
Congratulations on all your hard work. I do know what it is. Oh, here, you're gonna go to the podium.
Let's get the board members, all board members to go up to the podium with Mr. Birdie.
Okay,
All right, here we go.
sorry.
Yes, all of you.
I did not try. I did try.
Show him how you appreciated him, Mr. Smith. Pick him up. Hold him up, sir. All right, to the mic, Mr. Birdie.
This one's a good one.
Well, it's been a little over 8 years that I've been on the board. I was appointed in 2015. It was a meeting that started at 6:30 on the 28th and ended after midnight on the 29th. And it's been an interesting 8 years. I mean, these things, the things that the board does, the thing that the school district does, they're not the result of any one person doing anything. It's the administrators, the staff, and the people involved, our treasurer, that keep things running and make things go. So I truly appreciate all the support and the efforts of everybody in this room and everybody in this school district who helps educate our children and take care of them on a daily basis. We got a lot of good things, I think, going on in this district. Project-based learning has been going on for quite a while. I think that's an excellent way for students to learn. Hands-on. They get the ability to speak in front of people. They get teamwork to work with other students and on projects, and they learn as they go. So it's a good thing. We've got a 5-star preschool, and I'm not going to capture everything here, but there's just a lot of good things in this district. Project Success is an excellent program that this district offers to take care of children that maybe don't learn or aren't going to be able to handle a normal academic setting. So I think that what's gone on here in the last 8 years, and even these buildings that we're in right now, that was a huge part of what many of us were involved in to begin with. And it's an example of what this community can do when they take a chance on our education system and the students here. We got 1.6 million kids in the state of Ohio, and I believe K through 12. 89% of them are in public schools, so we got to find a way to take care of public schools and make sure that we keep those funded the way they need to be funded to educate these children. So with that, I say thank you to everybody. Thank you to my board members. I've been on the board with 10 different board members. I was looking at that today to see if Dr. Johnson's the only one here, I think, that I've been on the board with for the entire 8 years. Paula, much of it, and then Brenda and Deborah for the last couple of years. And the amazing thing is, I mean, we see stuff in the news about boards that are so dysfunctional, and we haven't always agreed throughout the 10 people that have been on the board with me about what we're going to do or why we need to do it. But I think we've always come back to the question, what's in the best interest of the students, the staff, and the communities we serve? And there's always different opinions on that, but we've always kept our discussions professional, respectful, and at the end of the day, we came to an answer that we felt was in the best interest of those things. So I'm very proud of that, and I'm happy to have been able to spend the time that I have on this board. It's a great board. Thank you.
Our next Community Spirit Award goes to the current president, Ms. Paula Kuhn. Photo first.
We could do the same. Oh, I guess it's a little different, isn't it?
On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Jeff did a great job encapsulating what it means to be a board member. And what it means to be a board member to me is more of a labor of love, because I went to school here. Past generations fought and worked hard for me to get an education, and I felt like that's my obligation to pass along to our students and for our future. And public education is a key, critical, foundational principle of our country. And I think that's the main thing that helps us to be successful and helps elevate families so that they can be successful and prosper and grow and live the American dream. That's why I fight very hard for public education, for our schools and for our children. It's something that I've been called, it's a calling, it's a joyful calling, it's a lot of work. I think my board members will acknowledge that, and to our new board members, sometimes it's harder than it looks, so it takes a lot of time and energy to do the work that we're called on. Of course, we don't do it alone. I appreciate all of the wonderful staff, the students, the teachers, our administrators, superintendent, the treasurer. You guys are all, amazing assets that our community has. Thank you, and that's the main thing. I just wanted to give my appreciation and love to our community. Please support our public schools. Please support our children. And that's my plea to the people out there today. Please support public schools. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Those are all the awards for tonight.
Okay, no, it's not the end of the meeting. Well, that's true. There's a lot of power in the presidency, huh? Now we'll move on we'll take a slight recess, since I have the power to do, just for a few minutes. Allow people to catch their breath, and we'll get back to the board business. Thank you. Call the meeting back to order. We'll move on to public comments, which I believe we have none tonight. Thank you. Moving on to comments from the board association. So the Winton Woods Teachers Association, if we have a member that would like to address the board. No. We'll move on to Ohio Association of Public School Employees.
Good evening, board members, Superintendent Smith. On behalf of OC members and myself and my secretary, our secretary, we'd just like to say congratulations to all of our super students, and congratulations to Mr. Sewsbury, super guy. Oh my goodness, so smart. Good athlete. We just want everyone to have a happy and safe holiday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll move on to,
I would like to say thank you for the card.
yes,
We appreciate it.
Thank
I say
Yes,
thank you for
very
the candy.
And the candy.
and the candy.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Bringing just a little bit of joy.
Yeah, and from a school board perspective, I appreciate that you come and participate, so that's really nice. We appreciate that very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. We'll move on to the approval of minutes. Agenda point 6.01. Board, if we can review the minutes and have a,
Madam President, I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from November 20th, 2023.
I'll second it.
okay, it's been motioned and seconded. Any questions, discussions, conversation? Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, would you call the vote?
Ms. Bryant?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Birdie?
I'll abstain.
Mrs. King?
Aye. Motion passes 4 with 1 abstention. We'll move on to the treasurer's report. Mr. Seymour?
Yes, in your financial report for the month of November, in the general fund, our year-to-date revenues were $25.3 million, with month-to-date revenues of $2.5 million, which was mostly our state foundation. Our general fund expenditures are presented to you by object and then function. Our year-to-date expenditures are at $22.4 million, and we are currently operating approximately $2.1 million under budget, or 3.67%. On the final page of your report has the district's financial activity for all the funds, and the district had an unencumbered balance in all funds on November 30th of $18.6 million. And that's listed on page 5 for you. Thank you.
Okay, with no objections being heard, let the financial statement for the month of November 2023 be submitted for audit. And we'll move on to our next agenda point, recommendations of investments by Mr. Seymour.
Yes, for the month of November, we had approximately $34 million invested, of which general fund generated $137,000 in interest, and our building fund yielded about $14,600 for interest income for the month of November.
Thank you. Board, if you would like to make a motion, we can have some conversation.
I'll make a motion to approve the investment report as presented.
I'll second it.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, will you call the vote?
Ms. Bryant?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Birdie?
Aye.
Mrs. Kuhn?
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. We'll move on to our reports from the superintendent.
The school reports, 9.01. Thank you. Several weeks ago, Mr. Denny and I attended a meeting, and the purpose of attending the meeting, board, was in the event that there's any kind of tragedy or mishap in a school or on a school site, one of the things that we realize is most school districts don't have a reunification plan of where parents are supposed to meet their children. Technically, the reunification plan calls for it to be the Krogers, but if you sent 2,000 students to Krogers, that could create a whole nother plan. So our reunification plan actually calls for us to go to City Gate, and students would be bused to City Gate so that they could meet up with their parents. We're going to work on a tag system in conjunction with technology where when parents come to pick up their children, they would be able to be identified of which parent goes with which child. People always think about the tragedy, but they don't think about the aftermath of what happens, which is a bigger tragedy from time to time. The one thing that we're going to try to do, Dr. Martin and Dr. Ragland were able to assist me in a conversation earlier today, that in the event that a student actually, on a Friday, decided to go with another student home, how would that student be part of a reunification plan? So what's going to happen in the future when students are going to actually go to a neighbor's house or go somewhere else after school, they're going to have to give us some information so we know how to reunite them. Otherwise, we don't have a place for them to be. So these are some of the logistics that we thought about. And one of the things that they tell you during the planning process, if you can look at the screen, and you have to really stand out of their way and let the people do their business. Cops own the crime. Fire owns the flames, schools own the kids, and the paramedics own the patient. And that's exactly how they want to do it. We went through a series of processes of how all this stuff works. And one of the things that they had in a real-time situation where after the scene or after the event or after the tragedy, the parents were too close to the scene. So they were actually trying to set up a unification rally point too close to the scene, which created a bigger problem. And so if you can imagine, you want to connect with your child. You want to connect with your loved ones. The other part is you have adults that want to connect with other adults, like teachers and husbands and wives and all those things that go in between. So we thought that it would be very, very important for us to, down the road, we're going to create tabletop exercises of what this reunification plan could look like. Fire drills happen, tornado drills happen, but the reunification plan is real. In conjunction with that, I don't know if you heard, it actually came out Sunday where about 100 schools in our particular region received this kind of threat about that there was going to be explosives in the school. We met with law enforcement this morning and we put out our communication, and basically the communication reads this way. On Sunday afternoon, December 10th, over 100 school districts received a similar message regarding threats that compromise safety. While Winton Woods City Schools was not on the list of schools, and after meeting with law enforcement this morning, we believe that this is not a credible threat and our students and staff are not in any imminent danger. Even though this threat may seem like a hoax, I wanted to assure you that we will never compromise on safety at Winton Woods City Schools. Unless we hear information from our local law enforcement agencies, we will resume school as scheduled. Please look through your Parent Square communication plan for further updates throughout the day and the remainder of the week. Please encourage your child. If they see something that seems strange or out of sorts, they should say something. Thanks for your support and patience. So this went out to all the families so that they know that even though people say it's a hoax, in one particular place, it very well may not be. So we take it seriously all the time, and we want to let people know that, at least our community know that we were actually on top of it. Some schools sent out information Sunday night, but we decided to meet with law enforcement first Monday morning to make sure that we had everything together. So these are just a few of the reports, but this all went out through Parent Square, and thank you, Ms. Hobbs and Mr. Denny for the meeting, and please thank Ms. Jackson for her support and her, part in the whole plan. Some of these communications, when things happen, must get out very quickly so that the public doesn't panic. We did have a few parents call in saying that they did not want their children to come to school today, but we were, once this letter came out, we received no more calls. So as a follow-up, we've asked all the schools to give us an update for the rest of the week of the status of their students, and if they hear or see something, they should let us know immediately. Any questions?
Do we have a higher absentee rate today versus any other? Did you notice?
No higher than when the Bengals win on Sunday and we play, school happens on Monday. No higher.
Okay.
But we were very, very pleased that parents really took notice to it and students as well. But the administrators jumped in. We started receiving information as early as when, Mr. D? Sunday afternoon? Yes, sir. Your Sunday afternoon. And we could have said we were going to send this out Sunday, but we know that some people don't read the information. They read it during school hours and school times. So we circled the wagons and we put it out at the right appropriate time. I don't know if board members heard any information from the public about the process, but I think we did a good service today.
I did hear it on the radio, and they didn't, and there were a series of schools, but Winton Woods was not listed on there.
Correct.
But it still is enough to cause caution.
I appreciate the due diligence. I got a text about my grandkid in another school district about, should I send him to school? What's going on? And we take everything so seriously, obviously, for the safety of the students. And, I just thank the board for being willing to support that in the Parent Square. I always like when I get my notifications. It's like, oh, okay, this is a new notification, and I know the parents appreciate it as well.
And the fine print says, performing a successful reunification plan is much more likely when drills are conducted in advance of an event. Tabletop exercises and live events should be scheduled and performed. And so we're going to add that to our fire drills and to our tornado drills and anything else under the sun in order to make sure our community is safe. So, thank you.
Thanks. And then, anything else on your?
That's it.
Okay. We'll move on to 9.03, facilities update. Over to you, Mr. Denny. And Superintendent Smith.
Thank you very much. Good evening, board. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Again, excited to be able to share some updates about the ongoing renovation project and the district's facilities master plan. Happy to have had the opportunity to tour the school as well with a couple board members that were able to make it, and we're pleased that we're able to do that and see the progress in person. So a lot of good things going on, a lot of work happening right now. I think there were 11 contractors from one trade alone on site today. It was Geiler, mechanical and plumbing, so a lot of HVAC work happening. There's some plumbing being installed all around the building. Masons are reworking some door openings, and there's a handicap ramp reconstruction that just was completed, and it's now per ADA code, which originally it was not, because that was not required when the building was built. But it is required and appropriate now. And of course, we want all of our students and all of our community members, staff members, parents, families to be able to access all parts of the building, and that's appropriate. Steel installation is nearing completion. And there's shoring still in place, but that, hopefully we'll get that all tested and approved and inspected, and then we can pull the shoring once that's all done. And this week is the first week that painting is supposed to be underway. So we're going to see priming and painting soon, and drywall rated walls are starting to go in as well. So there's a lot happening for Phase 2. It's about 25 to 30% complete. Phase 1 is about 90, I'd say 92, 93% complete. So we're getting close on Phase 1. A lot of work still to do on Phase 2, but we're looking like schedule's holding still, and very excited about opening for this coming school year. So thanks for the opportunity to provide some information.
Thank you, sir.
I just wanted to say, Mr. Denny, I did appreciate the building tour today. Just to kind of put a picture with what you're saying, because sometimes you throw a number out, I'm like, what does that look like? What does that mean? And just to walk through the whole building, and while my children went to school there, I was kind of trying to say, okay, now this is the hallway that led to, this, and it looks so totally different that, I'm really excited to see when, the finished product, but boy, it's a little bit amazing to see, really.
One of the things that Mr. Denny mentioned, when the project first started, the code says this is what you do. But as the project gets underway, they realize there are some safety violations along the way when new codes come out. So you have to make some changes because you thought this code would do it, but that code is no longer valid.
Right, yeah.
And if you try to proceed, of course, you're going to delay the project even further. The other great thing is, I know initially the public, I know they'll be happy to see and have that tour of the facility, but initially the public thought that, hey, you just add some new desks, put in a few windows, and now the deal is done. This is a total renovation project with integrity, so I'm happy
I was
that
amazed
we
at the
were able to get
brick.
it that far, yeah.
Like they matched up the brick, like the old brick with the new brick. I mean, you've seen that and you can really see the difference, And we've seen some old signs, old school signs that were in the old cafeteria. And I'm like, I don't know what we're gonna do with those, Mr. Denny, but we have to find a place for them. Because you don't see those kind of signs anymore.
Authentic.
Yeah, they're very authentic. The big signs that says, pride, and each one of is an acronym for something. I mean, it's just, I really appreciate you all taking the time and taking us around, though.
An
Yeah,
amazing
thrilled y'all could make it.
gym.
Sorry.
No, the gym that's still there, and it's got Go Warriors Go with that beautiful floor. I mean, it is, thank you, that was a great opportunity. And the Future Health Center that's listed there as well.
Wow.
And the future board
Yeah.
office.
Oh, yes, let's get
Boardroom.
excited about that.
Absolutely. So you
Yeah.
guys will be able to accommodate, by turning your backs from one way, you can accommodate 50, or you can accommodate 700.
Yeah, turns
Yeah,
around,
there you go.
Well, I like to also think that the public will be very happy about the reuse of things. Like I said, it wasn't a total demo. It was keeping a building that's been in the community and just being able to revamp it for the littles, as superintendent calls them, the littles. It's gonna be a great project. It's super exciting to see.
It is a great project.
With the boiler that was able to be moved, so saving the district money. Appreciate that.
A lot of
Thank
care
you.
and time.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll move on to Agenda 10.01, which is personnel schedules.
Yes, Board, Ms. Wilson's ill tonight, so I am standing in for her. And the recommendation is to approve the personnel schedules, Schedule A, B, C, D, and E.
Board, if you'd like to make a motion and have any discussion.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the personnel schedules as presented.
I second the motion.
Been motioned and seconded by Deborah Bryant. Thank you. Any questions about schedules A, C, is it A, C, D, and E? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. I did have one question. On the Schedule D with the clerical stipend for disciplinary hearings, and it's a lump sum, and it is from a period of December through the end of the school year, I guess, through May.
Not a lump sum.
That's not a lump sum.
No,
That's
ma'am.
what I wanted to make
No,
sure
no,
what
ma'am.
that
No,
meant.
no, no, no. It will actually be paid progressively through. It is actually a stipend, but it's not going to be paid in one lump sum. It runs through 12/11 to 5/31.
Okay, and that means for each instance she would be paying?
No, that's the entire amount.
Okay, from that time period?
Yes, so,
that's what I wanted to check.
Ms. Roselle and Dr. Ragland, Ms. Cotton was actually the person who writes up all the hearings and everything. What we realized is that we needed her somewhere else, so she actually interviewed, got a promotion inside the system, and we decided not to replace her and put out another FTE with benefits, but we gave her the opportunity, based on how efficient she was, can we encapsulate this and make it one job?
Okay, I just kind of wanted to clarify that.
Very
'cause I
good,
wasn't
good
sure
point.
how
Yes,
that
because I
worked.
want that job, if that was the case.
Well, I wasn't sure, that's why I thought if that was for each instance or
No.
for, okay.
Good point.
Any other comments or questions from the board? Seeing none, Mr. Seymour, would you call the vote?
Ms. Bryant?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Birdie?
Aye.
Mrs. Kuhn?
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. We'll move on to Board of Education reports and the legislative report first with Dr. Johnson.
Yes, Madam President, I've sent the full legislative report to the board members with only one session date that is scheduled for the remainder of this year. The legislation is attempting to move a handful of bills forward into the winter break, and while others will be moved into 2024.
And
Most of-
beyond.
Yes, and beyond, because if you look at the full report when you get to your email, you'll see that many of the issues, some are urgent, some are just differences of opinion between the House and the Senate, but they are all carryovers from, the past 11 months that we've been looking at. So there was nothing really new on there, but I did send the full legislative report to each board member. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Moving on to 11.02, the Great Oaks Career Technical Report. Mr. Birdie?
And there is no Great Oaks technical report. The meeting is not until Wednesday of this week. So
Thank you.
I have nothing new to report.
Okay. Now we'll move on to board motions and recommendations, and to anticipate the new year, the new calendar year, there's some important organizational functions that we have to do. 12.01 is to set the date, time, and location of the organizational meeting for 2024. And if someone would like to make a motion, or I can make the recommendation.
I can make it.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. My recommendation to the board is that it's set for Monday, January 8th, 2024, 6:30 PM at the Winton Woods North Campus, this particular room. And the organizational meeting is the setup. It's a lot of the housekeeping. It's the swearing in of new school board members, the picking of the president and vice president, and that type of work. So I wanted to I'll make the motion. I think we need to.
I'll second the
Okay.
motion.
So I'll make the motion, and Deborah Bryant will second, and if there's any conversation for this piece.
What time did you say?
Pardon?
What time did you say?
6:30?
6:30. It would almost be just like it follows. It is the second Monday of January. So.
Well, you have to do it by the 15th.
15th,
Right, and we
yes.
have to do, yeah, well, we
Yeah,
have
by
to,
law.
there's definitely some time range, so it does fit and it does coordinate with when our normal meeting would have been scheduled, so. Going in that, any other comments, questions? Mr. Seymour, would you call the vote?
Ms. Bryant?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Smith? Mr. Birdie?
Aye.
Mrs. Kuhn?
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. And the two new board members will be notified of that meeting, obviously, because you need to be sworn in. And that's an important piece. The next point of business is 12.02, which is to appoint a president pro temp until the president is appointed or elected at the 2024 organizational meeting. And it would be my recommendation that Dr. Johnson be appointed the president pro temp. Somebody would like to second that?
I'll second that.
Okay. Any comments, questions? No, seeing none. Mr. Seymour, would you call the vote?
So, Mrs. Kuhn, you made the motion?
I
Seconded
made the
by-
motion,
Okay.
yeah.
Ms. Bryant?
Aye.
Dr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Birdie?
Aye.
Mrs. Kuhn?
Aye, motion passes unanimously. And then I added one other key piece, because I think it's really important that the community sees some of the work in progress. And as we get ready for the superintendent search, it's been a bit of a chore to coordinate the superintendent planning meeting with the OSBA. We signed a contract with them to get help during this process. And one of the key pieces is they want us to have an organizational, not an organizational meeting, a planning meeting to get started in that process. And there's a timeline, obviously, that we want to get started. So through several different iterations of dates and different tries at different dates between our representative, Terry Morgan, and the board members themselves. And also with the additional challenge to make it more interesting, we thought it was important that the new board members have a say-so in this. So we're trying to balance all these pieces that are continuing to move along with our board members, their other jobs in their lives that is important to them. Obviously, this is an important task. But I just wanted to have a little bit of a conversation just because I think it's really important. The recommendation from Terry Morgan was to have a meeting. If we had an organizational meeting on the 8th, that would ensure that we have the new board members sworn in. And she proposed Tuesday, January 9th, or Wednesday, January 10th. In the, I don't know, we didn't get to the time yet. We're still working on the day, so it would probably be, she suggested 4. I know from my board members, I have a lot of different opinions on what they think would be good ways to do that. And I'm open to have that discussion so we can all discuss that. But I really think it is important for me to pass along the baton that we have an orderly fashion, that we have a way to get this started sooner than later. And it's really, it's going to be the key focus that the board's going to be doing this upcoming year. That's a really important task. It sets the tone and the tenor and the future of our district. So I think I've had some say so. Like I said, it's sort of an interesting scenario because I'm passing it along. I try to be respectful of the new board while at the same time doing my board. But I think Dr. Johnson had some comments you might want to suggest or bring into.
Well, it's not a suggestion, it's simply my opinion, is that when we originally set our date for Monday as our meeting date, we said that we would try to keep the majority of our required meetings on Monday. And it is just my feeling that she's given us every day except for Monday. Every time. We have people on this board who travel. I do other things outside of the school board on Monday nights. I've designated Monday nights for the last 11 years. And I know that there's time to time that we'll have meetings on other dates. Now, I don't know about you, but when I hire a contractor, if they're coming in to give me my first, estimate or talk to me about what they want to do for me, they try to accommodate my schedule. There is some flexibility, of course, there has to be, because we're going to have some flexibility when it comes down to, setting up times to do the interviews and like that. But I just feel like, I know I can't speak for the people on our board who travel, but I know that they have tried to designate Mondays, and we have said when we set up the meeting, as Monday as our board meeting day, that we would try to keep Monday as our meeting day, and every day except for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that she wanted to meet. It's like, what happened to Mondays? And I just don't, I think that, you said that we've already signed a contract, but if she can't meet the dates that we have available, at least the initial dates, I just think that either somebody else needs to do it from OSBA, or I don't know. I don't know what the next step is, but I just feel like she's not tried to accommodate us, and we have people who travel. And I'll have to let them speak for what their availability is, but I just think that we have to consider that as a issue. And I really do appreciate what you've tried to do, Paula, because it's not easy to try to bring 5 different people together in a schedule, but when you've designated a day, and then you're trying to hire a contractor or hire someone to do something, and they won't adhere to that day, what do you usually do? You go to the next person on the list. I don't know.
When we hired them, we didn't put out their particular day. I know.
No, but we know what our day is. You have to communicate that. We know what our day is. Our day is Monday.
And I do agree, and I think the other thing for me, and I didn't weigh back in, is we have new board members coming, so to be respectful of their schedules as well,
Right.
we tell them Monday. So I hate to say, yes, we're gonna meet on this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and they're not available because they've done what I've at least done. You move everything so Monday is protected as much as possible. You try not to travel the day, whatever. So the other days are hard for me, especially you talk 4 o'clock, I'm working my job. I can't just leave my job to attend, to attend for the board. So it needs to be on a Monday, and I agree. If that's the thing, then we say Mondays.
Well, very good, and I totally appreciate that, but I also did reach out to the new board members and also had them open that date, and it is a month away, so, there were a lot of different dates, there was lots of conflict of, what was going on. So, my goal is to help pass it along and facilitate it, and make it as easy as possible to transition for this. I am asking my board to have some, at least initially, some flexibility, because quite honestly, this is, if I remember right, and I didn't sit on all of the programs when they elected, or when they initially hired Mr. Smith or Superintendent Smith, there was a lot of meetings that I went to that weren't on Mondays, because we have board work that are done on that day every other week. That's what I'm asking for, one time, if you could clear your schedule, we can get that set up, and because we're gonna run out of time.
I
and
can
won't
tell you
be
I
able-
can't do it at 4 o'clock, so if she's
Can we
gonna,
do it later?
it has to be after 5.
Okay, that's good to know, but
I
the
mean, and-
dates themselves?
Let me double check that.
Sure.
I'm gonna just go on record to say, I do understand what you're saying, that there
Yeah.
may not always be Monday, but I do think for this instance, especially when we're transitioning to new board members, that it would have been nice for her to have the flexibility.
Absolutely.
Instead of asking all of us, that's 5 different people
Right.
versus one person.
And I think that we have
That we're
to-
paying, by the way.
Yes, we are paying, and I think that we have to be respectful for our 2 new board members that are coming on. Like right now, their schedule, they know they're joining a board that meets on a Monday. So the first few meetings that they would have, and of course, we're going to have some flexibility as we begin to set up appointments and the meetings and the interviews. But I just didn't get the feeling that, the first few emails that came out, and maybe I read more into them because it's the end of my semester, and I'm very not flexible, when it gets to the end of my semester. I can't afford to be. The projects are in, they're due, the grades are due. My deadlines push me. I don't push my deadlines. And so she wants to meet, on a Thursday or a Wednesday, and I'm like, I've got one last class at night. I can't cancel my last class to come. It's not practical. I think that for an initial appointment, and I guess the other board members, in all fairness, at least Mr. Brandon Smith needs to weigh in on his opinion. He might feel totally different. But I think that for our initial meeting, that I felt like she should be flexible with our schedule, or we need to consider some other avenue.
So, I just want to get the meeting set as soon as possible.
Yes.
And then we can move on from there, at least the initial meeting. So I'm being as flexible as I can, and I've responded in every email that's been sent to me. But, as my other board members have alluded to, if you're paying somebody, just tell them find somebody who can do it on Monday. That's what I would do. I would just send an email back and say, hey, if you can't do it on Monday, find me somebody who can.
Well, she gave us some Monday for later in January, but I didn't get responses back in time, and that filled up. So I just be completely transparent, that's my frustration. And if you want to wait till the new board, you're gonna, might have to start over. So that's really concern for me.
So I guess.
And doing my job. So that's.
Mrs. Bryant, did you check, and Dr. Johnson, so those 2 dates, the 9th and the 10th, that they're already proposing later in the evening, are they available for you?
Yeah, I'm not back in school until the 15th, so
Okay.
that would work for me because my school schedule doesn't start back up until the 15th.
Mrs. Bryant, I know you also have a heavy travel schedule. What's your
I
travel
do,
schedule?
and as of right now, there's no travel, and that is a new semester, so I can't guarantee that something won't come up, but as of today, I'm open in the evening.
And we
Yeah,
also
we would
need
make
to,
sure.
Yeah, I just have meetings that don't end until after 4, so it
understand.
has to be, yeah.
Totally. I appreciate it. So which day, Tuesday or Wednesday?
So for me, I'm good either day. So I'll let
Tuesday
you
Well,
would
not
be
a
best for
Wednesday
me.
because we have a committee meeting on a Wednesday.
So Tuesday, is that what I'm hearing from my board?
Yeah, that's Tuesday's fine.
And we need to
Tuesday with
check-
objections.
We need to check and make
You're
sure
honest right
that
now.
our two new
I'm
board
manhandling you,
members
I
are
appreciate
available.
it.
We need to check and make sure our two new board members
One
are
of them's
available.
Well, I have
Yes.
one that I've communicated with both, and neither one of them had objected, because that's a real key piece
Right.
to.
So we can go with
positioning.
the Tuesday, right?
We
All right,
could
let's
do Tuesday,
But
and then
I
I-
do want to go on record in the future, it needs to work around our schedules and not the other way around.
I think so.
I leave that to my board to communicate that with the liaison.
Well, I'm
It's
just
on record.
concerned, I tell you what my concern is, and I went to the meetings at the OSBA about the superintendent search, but my concern is that when you're initially trying to set up an appointment with what I consider a contractor, I mean, she's a contractor, to contract to do something for us, and they're not being flexible, and they're too busy to accommodate the schedule that we already currently have, I'm just concerned of what kind of service we're gonna get. Now, I've heard nothing but good things. I'm not saying that what the OSBA does as far as superintendent search is not good. I'm not saying that. I'm just concerned that the lack of flexibility.
But let me understand, everybody told me you didn't have any issues, you don't have any issues on that day because you don't go back. till
January the
15th.
9th, I'm good, yeah.
Yeah, so
But
that
once the
really-
semester starts,
But it's not after that. We're just
Right.
talking about the 9th. So let's just
Right.
talk about Tuesday, the 9th, and I think we can all agree. So that's great. We have uniformity. I'll try to get it as 5:30 or as late,
Do you
you know,
want to set
to
that
6.
meeting now?
Can I get back with the time and we can have the location? Can I
No,
set the
think
date?
we need to set everything. If
Okay.
you're gonna,
Well, let's
push
take-
it, I
okay.
want everything
I'll-
on writing now.
Okay, let's push it.
Yeah.
5:30,
6:30.
6:30?
sounds good.
6:30? So
Let's-
I hear
well,
seven.
let's split,
Seven's- no, I'm playing.
let's split it, because it'll take an hour. It's only an hour your time. We'll say 6 PM.
He said 6:30.
I know, we said a lot
Well-
of things. I'm just trying to
No,
figure
I
out
mean,
which
is
one.
No, I think-
6:30 the work for you?
Is that what time?
I mean, if we got to do 6, we can do 6, but I'm just used to getting out the Forest
6:30,
Park
I
by
agree with
6:30.
Mr. Smith.
I understand.
I mean, for those of us who have to travel, if we're downtown or out of town.
Yeah, but often-
6 o'clock,
6:30.
30
Sure.
minutes is a big
It
difference
makes
when you
it- it
travel.
can
Let's
make
do
a difference.
6:30.
Okay, and I know oftentimes.
Excuse me, board. I know Mr. Seymour gets the schedule, but if you guys don't do it soon, she's going to be booking something else.
Yeah, she
No,
will.
we're gonna, yeah, he'll
That's why I'm
book
saying
it.
we do it on Tuesday the 9th, the time, we want to set the date, set the location, which would be, I guess, at the White Building, which I would assume.
The community building,
community
room
building.
105 at 6:30 on the 9th.
Thank you.
Thank you. Whew, that was fun, wasn't it, team? Great team. Now you get to see board in action. So this was a really important piece. And I appreciate everyone. I think
Welcome to
everyone's
a new
comments
And
year.
are
I'll
really
I'll
good.
send a notice out as a special meeting to meet with the consultant.
Okay, and I'll confirm with.
Well, she
Chair
has no
Morgan.
choice now.
I know, she's gonna do it or do or die. We gotta do
So
or die.
I do have one question. So
Certainly.
in contracting with OSBA, so when we contract with them, are we contracting with them and they assign us a person? Or do we work with the organization, or how does that work? Because to Dr. Johnson's point, like, if she's not that flexible, do we have the option to choose somebody else?
We can
Or are they
ask.
assigned or something like that? Because I agree with Dr. Johnson, if we're paying all this money, I want to make sure that we get somebody that's going to be able to work with us
Certainly.
and not make us work.
And that's an important piece, and I totally
Right.
respect that. I think,
In the agreement, it should have stated that if she can't do it, there's a backup person.
yeah,
That's
it's
what
her
I-
You
name
guys
is
should have
on there.
known who
Yeah.
the backup person
Yeah.
is.
Well, let me reach out to her because she does, I know that the board sometimes feels she's not flexible, but in my tug of war back and forth, I've had flexibility on both sides. So I've seen the coin on both pieces, so.
Can I ask a question?
Certainly.
Mr. Seymour, what's the ramification if we just say, okay, we're gonna go another way?
You've
She's-
already signed a contract and you voted on it at a board meeting.
So is there no way to say we don't want to use her because she's not flexible? I'm just asking for information.
I don't know about the person. I only know about the agency.
Dr. Johnson, you would have to pay that person.
The full
and Pay
amount?
the group because you signed an agreement, and
Right.
then you can get someone else. You can have 15 someone elses if you want. That's up to you. But the agreement is signed with that particular, with OSBA for the superintendent search.
And there are 2 other board members that haven't weighed in, so I don't want to negate their voice as well. So that's something for the future board,
That's
and you guys
questionable.
you can check on that. I just wanted to make sure this was passed along to get the job started, because it's really
That's
going to be your key
questionable.
your key job. Well, very good. Okay, your work in action. Okay. We'll go to to our comments from our team, and we'll start with Mr. Smith.
Oh, I was ready for Dr. Johnson to go in.
No, you go first.
I'd go from the we'll go flip side.
I've done enough.
Cool. So congratulations to all the award recipients today. Appreciate all your hard work. Appreciate the staff that's been working thus far. And happy holidays to you in advance, and thank you for all that you do. Congratulations to all our students working on those hard A's that they're going to be bringing to us this quarter. So this semester, we appreciate that. Also, congratulations to the varsity ensemble who performed with the Pops over the weekend. That was a very exciting performance. Our fine arts department is definitely doing great. So kudos to Beth Kakowski and Alex Kress, who we saw earlier today, and thank them for all their hard work. Also appreciating kudos to the Drumline who performed with Citygate in their Wonder of Christmas this year again. An excellent performance there. And I thank Danny Ashbrook and Rayshawn Armstrong for their hard work. And I want to thank Mr. Smith for all his team and his coordination for making everything happen for all of our students over this holidays and performances and things. Appreciate that, sir. Thank you for all your hard work. And I did want to put a piece of history in place. In 2001, I believe, or 2000, the group Harmony was formed, and that was the very first a cappella group here at Winton Woods. And so it's nice to now see the progression of those groups still in place to this day in 2023. So 23 years later, we still have an a cappella group as a student-led organization after school meeting and performing like that. So it's good to see that. And I was a member of that too, so I was kind of excited to see it 23 years later still going on.
Yeah, that's great.
And then a very special happy birthday to Mr. Denny.
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday, sir.
Happy birthday.
And with that, I'm good.
Thank you. Mr. Birdie?
I think I've already talked too much. But I'll just say I should have ended my comments before with happy holidays to everyone and go Warriors.
Thank you. Ms. Bryant?
I was hoping that you would go. I'm not really sure. See, when someone had such a robust speech, it's like ditto, ditto, ditto.
Yeah.
No, I did have the honor of, first of all, thank you to the parents who came to support and for all of those who were acknowledged today. And thank you to the Kiwanis for partnering with our school district and every month having someone here, or if not, just making sure that we're able to acknowledge our teachers as well as our students and the characters, all of the recognitions, the caring. I love it. I was a Kiwanis, actually I was a Builders Club and Key Club, so the Kiwanis is near and dear to my heart, but I think it's great that 30 plus years later, they're still in the communities and they're still impacting schools and serving. So thank you for that, and thank you to all the students who work very hard. I echo what Brandon said about the A's coming out, and hopefully all the students and parents will have a relaxing, enjoyable holiday season, whatever holiday you participate in, or just winter break. Thank you to Mr. Denny for the wonderful tour of the ECCC. I'm super excited about seeing that space and its completion and what it's going to mean to the community and for our students. It's a great opportunity for Winton Woods to continue to shine. Other than that, again, thank you to Citygate for partnering with the school district and the reunification plan and being the spot there, as well as the Drumline. They were fantastic. I was able to see them yesterday. So I am continuously impressed by the things that happen. Yes, there's always work that needs to be done, but we need to continue to talk about all the good things that are happening and all the improvements that we're making. So thank you to each of the teachers and assistants and bus drivers and food service personnel. And a shout out to Mark Doctor for all of this work that he does every month. He volunteers with We Thrive in Forest Park to make sure that families have opportunities for food. And it's such a joy to work with them and passing out things. So if you're looking for a volunteer opportunity the first Thursday of every month over at Forest Chapel, please come join us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Now, that's really great, because I get to say ditto now. Great, great. I really echo everything that Mrs. Bryant said, and all the accolades that went out to the Fine Arts Department and the performances, beautiful performance tonight. We just appreciate the dedication that these teachers and administrators and the community volunteers pour into our students. And I want to say again, thank you to Mrs. Kuhn and Mr. Birdie for serving with us on this board. And we look for you to maybe boomerang back in a couple of years, next vote. We don't know. You don't know what will happen. So I've always believed that iron sharpens iron. You don't have to agree. What you got to do is come up with a good decision once you walk out the room. And I really believe that. I don't think that, I don't believe in groupthink. I don't want everybody to think the same. We need to think differently, and we need to dig deep and stretch wide to make sure that we service our students in the district properly. Again, I always say thank you never seems like enough, but we do want to thank everyone who pours into our district. Wishing everyone a happy winter break. Like she said, holiday break, whatever holiday you celebrate. Enjoy the time off. Breathe. I know I need to. So enjoy the holiday and go Warriors.
And happy birthday again.
And happy birthday, Mr. Denny.
Superintendent Smith?
Can everybody repeat after me? 4,
We're nervous.
7,
7,
1.
1.
What does that mean? That's how many students have been seen in the clinic since it's open. 471.
Wow.
Absolutely. So there we go.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic.
Yep. And I am going to quote them. This is the best site-based health center that they have ever opened.
Of course.
Wow. Fantastic. Fantastic.
And one other thing that the dentist would like for us, the dentist's name is Riddle, yes. She would ask that the board and anybody connected not call it a clinic. She has her own special issue about calling it a clinic.
Okay.
Usually clinics were for indigent patients that could not afford, so she would like for us to call it the site-based health center.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Sure.
And I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been to plenty of clinics in my day. All right, so that's usually a misnomer, but that's one of the things she asked me to pass along, and I think we should accommodate her, and because that's where that energy comes from. So 471 and growing. All
In
right,
such a short time.
short
That's
time. The need
amazing.
was there.
Yeah.
That's
The need was there.
And we're looking forward
So
to the
it-
next one.
That
And
was
the one we
within what
just seen
time?
today was amazing.
Yeah,
The
so that's
space.
Like a month and a half, is that 6
Yeah,
weeks
yeah.
approximately?
Kids have been waiting. Also, a special kudos to the work that Dr. Martin has done to help balance Mr. Holman. That's a change in his school. He didn't have visitors like that before. So there's a change in his school that just kind of makes the flow a little bit different. Everybody's not looking for the principal. Sometimes they're looking for care. So we have to make sure that, imagine you've been keeping your house one way and now you have a group of visitors coming unexpected whenever they come. But he has been very, very patient and his staff has been absolutely amazing. So there we go. All right.
Very
Thank you,
good.
thank you. Mr. Seymour, did you wish to offer us anything?
Mrs. Kuhn and Mr. Birdie, thanks for your service, and I've really enjoyed working with you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Same to you, Mr. Seymour.
appreciate it. I want to say thank you to the board. You guys have been a pleasure to serve with. I think it's really important. I think you've seen how we can operate and want to operate effectively. We've seen how people put aside their personal things for the benefit of the district and for the students, so I do appreciate that. I know it can be a hardship on many of us, but I appreciate the thoughtfulness and generosity of giving back and having it work. So this definitely, the job it requires a lot of sacrifice, so I certainly do appreciate that. That's really important. And there also wish you continued success. I have expectation that our district will continue to grow and thrive and produce wonderful, wonderful graduates who I will run into wherever I walk. I run into graduates of Forest Park, Green Hills, Winton Woods, and it's amazing how it's such a small community goes out and makes such ripple effects in the world and touches the world in such a great way. So that's always refreshing to me to know that our students go out and contribute back significantly to our community and and we were somehow beneficial to their lives somehow. But thank you. Without any ado, we'll go ahead and.
Ms. Coe, one other thing. Please look forward to the winter version of Inside Your Schools. Drew Jackson is working on that as we speak. So it's coming out in the next few days.
And any kind of teaser, is that the teaser on it, or is there anything?
Oh, yeah, I'm on the cover.
Okay. You're dressed in your winter finery, huh?
Absolutely.
Okay. Very good. Well, we'll go ahead, and I think there is a need for an executive session this evening. If you'd like to.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session to discuss the evaluation of a public employee.
It's been motioned. A second? I guess, does that mean no?
I'll
So-
second.
Okay. Well, it's motion second. Believe me, the two board members that don't have to serve here wouldn't mind have gone home, but we do want to do our job and finish it out. So thank you. So it's been motioned and seconded. Mr. Seymour, would you call the vote?
Ms. Bryant?
You have to start with me. Can I say no?
You can.
You can abstain, I guess.
I'm abstaining.
Dr. Johnson?
I guess I'll abstain too.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Birdie?
Aye.
Mrs. Kuhn?
Aye. Motion passes 3 with 2 abstentions. I appreciate it. We won't come back with any further business. We will come back, though, at the end, and we appreciate Waycross for their time. Thank you.